Hey guys, it's Cameron Fleming with the Fleming team here in Columbia, South Carolina, and today we are going to be talking about our 2022 market predictions. We're going to be talking about prices today. We're going to be talking about interest rates. We're going to be talking about inventory. We are going to be talking about when the housing market will crash, and we're also going to be talking a little bit about the rental market and what to expect in the rental market as well. Now, I'm going to get right into it, guys. Let's first talk about prices and pricing. So in 2022, economists are predicting that prices are likely to rise anywhere from 5 to 7% over the year. Now, one of the key things that I want to mention as we talk about, what economists predict pricing is going to do, I think one of the things that we need to know is typically what I'm seeing in the market is we really reach a peak of pricing kind of in the middle of the summer, right? At the end of the summer, middle of the summer, we reach a peak in pricing. And so while we say prices are likely to increase 5 to 7% over the next year, we will probably see most of that kind of gather in the front end of the year and then kind of level out as we go into 2023. And that's kind of the natural ebb and flow that we typically see of the market. So expect, home prices, if you're looking right now and kind of trying to gather information around home prices, expect the home prices to be about 5 to 7% more. Now, one of the things that I think is going to be a real wrinkle to look at in terms of home prices in 2022 is, what are the effects of, additional, health challenges as we see we have a lot of people dealing with, this new variant of COVID. And so one of the things that we saw in 2021 is those that, as we had to make adjustments for, COVID, we really saw delays in terms of trying to get inventory to the market, which, really exacerbated price increases. So although economists are expecting 5 to 7% increases in terms of property value, I could see a space where we see even higher property increases because of the challenges that we may see in terms of this new variant that we're dealing with. Now, let's talk a little bit about interest rates. So most economists are predicting interest rates to rise a touch here in 2022. They have been saying this for a while now. I'm also interested in how, what's going on right now is going to affect interest rates. I actually think there may be a space where we kind of see interest rates staying low, especially if we kind of see some challenges in terms of, inventory and, continued price increases, right? I think there's a space there for interest rates to kind of stay, at least below 3.5%. But most economists expect interest rates in 2022 to at least touch 4%. So that's kind of what we're going to go off of. But in my gut, I'm thinking interest rates will probably stay low again in 2022, which is a good thing. As prices rise, at least we do have the lower interest rates. That's going to affect your payment and ultimately the amount that you kick out when it's all said and done. Now let's talk a little bit about our market prediction number 3. Let's talk about the inventory. So what to expect in terms of inventory. I think that we are going to see more of the same in terms of low inventory, or at the very least, I think we're going to see more of the same. So last year we kind of hovered around 1 month's worth of inventory, which created real challenges for people that wanted to move here. One of the things that I am curious to see, so last year there wasn't a ton of military movement, and our area is definitely a military town. And so I feel as though that may exacerbate the situation in terms of how much inventory there is. I definitely think that if you are in the military and you are PCS into the area, I definitely think that it would behoove you to try to find something sooner rather than later, not only because prices are likely to increase, but also I think there's just going to be a real challenge around if you have a VA loan, getting a home, as there has been, over the last year, because the market is so competitive. I anticipate more competitiveness because we'll see similar inventory, and that's ultimately what has driven the competitiveness here in Columbia, South Carolina. A lack of inventory, and part of some of the challenges that I see with this new variant of COVID, right? When we take a look back at what we saw in 2021, some of the effects of what COVID did really didn't play out until later on, right? And so right now we're seeing people have to call out of work. And when I say work, I mean of building your house, right? Of building homes and bringing inventory to the market in order to, get better. And I think, we are likely to see that not play out now, right? But we're likely to more so see that play out during the summer, which is typically when people want to move. So I really think we're going to see a similar situation in terms of the amount of inventory. So I think the sooner you can lock down a home, whether it's resale or especially new construction, typically what I'm seeing right now is most new construction is kind of finishing up. The inventory that they have now is slated to finish up April, May, June. And from what I'm hearing from my new construction friends, July and August may be kind of grim in terms of new construction inventory available. What I'm hearing is, hey, we got these houses that are going to finish April, May, June, and then the next batch of houses isn't really slated to finish until October, November. So definitely, if you're looking for new construction, I'd really keep that in mind. Typically, right now, what's going on is you can find a house about 4 months out if you're looking for new construction. So definitely, especially if you're PCSing, I'd take advantage of that. Let's see here. When will the market crash? This is a question that we get all the time. People expect the market to crash because we saw tremendous growth in the market. And, if you've been watching our YouTube for any amount of time, you know that myself and economists predict the market to continue to go strong for, this foreseeable future. Okay. So we're not expecting a crash anytime soon. In my estimation, the only thing that can really, slow the market is going to be if interest rates rise in a way that really make it, hard to afford a home. But I think you'd also have to couple that with additional inventory, which it just doesn't look like we have any relief coming in that direction anytime soon. So expect the housing market not to crash. Expect home values to continue to rise. Okay. Now, lastly, I want to touch on one point because I think this is a real big problem that I see here in the future in terms of 2022, and that's the rental market, right? So home prices to purchase have not only increased by 20%, but also prices to rent a home have increased by 20%. So I think there's going to be some real challenges for people, especially those, again, who are PCSing to the area or relocating to the area and want to find a rental. One, I think it's going to cost you a lot. Two, if you think there's not a lot of inventory in terms of homes, there's even less inventory in terms of rentals, right? And so until until that is addressed in some way, whether it be, new apartment complex being built or more homes becoming rental properties, which, I don't anticipate because people can make so much money by selling their homes. But unless there's a solution that comes down the pipeline, I think it's going to be really challenging to rent a home. So definitely keep that in mind. I know the last time I talked to some of my military friends on base, basically what they said is it's a challenge even to rent a spot on base. So there's not much to rent out here in terms of, off of base. And then last I heard, there was a waiting list on base as well. If anybody in the military that's watching this video could help me confirm that, I think that'd be great. But I do, want you guys to anticipate if you need any kind of space and you want to rent a home, it's going to cost you a lot more than it has here in times past. So definitely keep that in mind. All right, guys, so that is my 5 predictions for the real estate market here in 2022. If you have any questions in particular that I can answer, feel free to drop a comment down below. I try to get to as many of the comments as I can, and we really appreciate you guys engaging. And if you have any questions about moving to the area, definitely let us know. We're here to help. Until next time, guys, peace.